Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, welcome to Lexical Studies. This is our lecture number 4, and in today's discussion we will have an overview of word formation processes. Today we will see what are the word formation processes, and by onward from today's lecture we shall have a series of lectures where we will discuss one or two word formation process in detail. But first there is a need to say what are the processes that are involved in word formation. The agenda of discussion includes, I will first see what is a word formation and what are the processes of word formation, and then we'll discuss each word formation process. And first we will see coinage, and then borrowing and compounding is another word formation processes. Then we have blending, and then we will see word formation through clipping and the process of back formation, and then there is conversion and acronymy, and we'll see word formation is also possible through derivation and then infixes and repurposing. This is an overview of all of these word formation processes, and by onward lecture we will go into the details of one or two process of word formation, and we will see these processes in detail. But we'll see overall word formation processes to get an idea how new words are created in English language or in other language. First, we'll see what is word formation. Word formation is defined as a morphological process which deals with the formation of new words from already available bases or roots. And a word formation is also a system of derivational types of words and the processes of creating new words from material available in language after certain structural changes, after applying certain semantic formulas and keeping in view the linguistic patterns, we create new words. Word formation processes are a mean by which new words are produced. They can be produced either by modification of existing words or by complete innovation, or when this creation occurs it becomes a part of language. Now word formation processes one by one. First process is coinage. Coinage is also invention, and it is a process by which new words are invented. There are some sources of coinage, as we see. Trade names for commercial products is first source of coinage, and there is also source of coinage which is eponym. By it we mean new words that are based on name of person or place. Third source is cultural or technological changes. So we see coinage is least a common process of word formation, because there is a totally new word is produced, totally new word is created, and common processes of word formation are mostly derivational in their nature. So coinage is considered as least common process of word formation according to George Yule. In coinage there are totally new terms are invented, and most typical sources of coinage are trade names for commercial products that become journal products. First they are given in capitals, and then later on they are given without capital letters. Aspirin is there, nylon, and then we have Xerox. Aspirin is a medicine and nylon is a plastic product, and Xerox is a photocopier machine. And they were commercial trade products, and initially when their name was introduced, this was given in capital letters, but when these words were coined and invented, the people started using them in small letters. And the second source of coinage is eponym. The eponyms are words that are named after a person or place. If we see the word sandwich, and this word is created in 18th century, and sandwich is basically a place name. Earl of Sandwich, who was gambling and demanded bread and meat together, his desired meal was provided to him from thenceforward. For such type of meal where bread and meat is together, or some similar combination of edible things began to be called as sandwich. Next source of word formation is borrowing. Languages do borrow from each other. We see English language has also borrowed from other languages, and other languages have also adopted or borrowed the words of English language. So here are some common borrowing. We see the words that are borrowed into English. Piano or pizza, these are words English have borrowed from Italian, and lilac, as we see the word in Urdu or Persian languages, lilac. English has borrowed the word lilac from Persian, and sofa is borrowed from Arabic, and kebab and yogurt are borrowed word, and English have borrowed these words from Turkish. And if we see the words that are borrowed from English, Japanese have opted boyfriend as boy, rando, and supermarket is English word, and Japanese language has borrowed it as supermarketo. So we see languages do borrow from one another, and this is necessary for the growth of language, for the progress of language, for the description of different items, different scenes, for description of different emotion, for the description of different things. Languages do borrow from each other for their survival, for their expansion, for their development. Another word formation process is compounding. By compounding, we also create new word, and we see in compounding two separate words are produced into a single word. As we see, book is a thing which we read, and case is a thing in which we put something or insert something for its protection, for covering this very thing, or for keeping this thing from the external environment such as dust, or preventing it anything dirty. So we see when book and case are combined together, they are compounded. Case is a compound word, and if we see sun is a different word, and being burned with fire or any heat is another thing. We can make a compound out of it as sunburn. And if we see the word textbook, it is also compound. It is created from the word text and book. So this is textbook is made one word, and this is a compound word. There are also other compounds as well. And next process of word formation is blending. In blending, we combine two words. First part of a word, and it also carries the second part of another word, and we blend these words and make new word of it. As we see, the blended word is motel. It is created from motel and hotel. First part of motel is taken, and last part of hotel is taken. Now let's have fun. See how words are blended out of blending process. For that we need one blender, one knife and dustbin, and we have cut the TOR of word motor and thrown into dustbin. After that we have cut the HO of the word hotel, and also we have thrown it into the dustbin. And now we plan to put mo and tel into blender. Blender is running. Blender has stopped, and let's see what came out of it. Oh, that's great word. Motel, that is a fresh and tasty word. Motel have produced out of it. And if we see the another blended word, infotainment. First part of this word and the last part of second word, entertainment, is taken, and new word is made, which is infotainment. Another example of blending is bit, and it involves two words, binary and digit. First part of the word binary is taken, and last part of the word digit is taken, and new word is made. Next word formation process is clipping, and by clipping we mean when we clip the part of any larger segment. For example, we talk about movie clip, and movie is a larger, its duration is larger, and when we cut its smaller part, we name it as a clip. As a word formation process, we see it is a process within which a word that consists of more than one syllable is reduced to a shorter form and it's only one syllable is altered. For example, we see the word facsimiles. This is a complete word and its clip form is fax, and fax is also a new word, and facsimile, first syllable fax is cutted and other part is cutted and new word is clipped out of it, which is fax. And similarly, gasoline, its initial syllable gas is clipped out of the entire word. New word that is made out of it, that is clipped out of it, is gas. And ad is also clipped version of advertisement. Advertisement is proper word for it, and ad is also no proper word for it. And how the word ad is made out of advertisement, it is made through the process of clipping. Its first syllable ad is clipped out of the complete word, and clipped word is also complete word after clipping process. And it is not necessary to clip first syllable or last syllable. Clipping or reducing a word by its initial syllable is the most common form of clipping, and in some cases we can clip the central syllable of a word. It's made a new word out of it. For example, in the word influenza, flu is the middle syllable of the word and it is clipped out of it, but this practice is least common. And one type of clipping is hypocorism. Within hypocorism, we form new word when longer words are reduced to single syllable. And how they are reduced to a single syllable? They are reduced to single syllable by adding y at the end of. For example, for moving picture, we can reduce this long word into shorter word by placing IE after its first syllable. And we see the word barbecue and we can reduce its form. After barb we can add IE, and by adding IE we can reduce its form Barbie, and it's reduced to a single syllable Barbie. As breakfast is also clipped, and to the tool of hypocorism, its initial syllable is clipped and then Y is placed at the end of this clipped syllable. We also see handkerchief at the end of hank. If we place I, this become hanky, and this is also its clip form. And within clipping, this word is created through hypocorism. Another word formation process is back formation. It like clipping reduction is also in back formation, and in back formation what we do, we reduce a noun from verb. For example, motion is a noun and we reduce its form, have added E and eliminated its IO, and the motion is reduced to emote, and liaison is reduced to lies. In other cases, subject is the back form, worker is reduced to work, and from noun the subject is back form to the verb by removing ER, etc. at the ending of subject. We see worker is a subject and it can be reduced by removing ER, and we see editor, and editor is a noun but it is also a subject. Its role is a subject in a sentence, and we can remove its OR and we can turn it into edit. So we see its subject is reduced by removing ER, OR, etc. So this process is called back formation. It is also process of a word formation. The back form word is also a new word. Words are made out of words. Words are made out of existing or available tools of a language. Existing available resources of language are used to create new words. Conversion is also a word formation process, and by conversion we mean a change in function of a word from noun to verb, from verb to noun, from adjective to verb, from adjective to anything else. So it is change of function of a word. If we see the word butter, butter is a noun and we can also change its function to a verb. For example, buttering also carries the meaning of flattering. Conversion is a change in function of a word. From noun to word can be called category shift or a function change. Words changeably can be used with respect to their function. We see the word butter it as a noun, and butter is an eating commodity and eating stuff, but we can use it as a verb, and When we use it as a verb, it means flatter. So there is a change in function of word. The word with the new meanings, the word with new function. Creation of words to serve a new meaning is conversion. There is a change in the function of word to serve another purpose. If a specific word is used as a noun, we can use it as a verb. So there is a function change. We also see the word bottle. By bottle we mean container in which we insert or save something. This is a noun, but we can also use it as a verb, and when we use it as a verb, we change its functional category. We have converted it function with respect to parts of speech, and then we use bottle or bottling. It will be a process of a filling container. Function is converted to verb, so it will also be a word. New verb is created, meaning that is assigned to this new word. After converting it, function is also a new word. And we see chair. Chair is a noun, and by chair we mean a seat or an honorary chair, and we can change it to verb. We have converted it with respect to its function, and by chair we mean to preside over a meeting. Conversion is also process of creating new word. Why new word? Because it is giving new meaning. It is not giving only the meaning its first form with respect to one category. When it was titled as a noun, its meanings were something different, and now this is new word and it is being used as a word. Its meaning are different, and its category, its function, its grammatical function or its grammatical category is converted. Another word formation process is acronym. What is acronym? Acronym, we see new words are formed or new words are created. How they are created? They are created out of initial letters of a set of words. Initial letters of word are taken. They are called its acronym. And we also have abbreviation as a way of forming new word. And abbreviation is a shortened form of a word or a phrase, and is pronounced as a word as a whole. For example, NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, its abbreviation is NATO, and NATO is pronounced together. It is not pronounced as an acronym. We pronounce it as DVD. Next process of word formation is derivation, which is most common, and it is morphological process. And in derivation, we can place affixes, or we use root word to derive new word. And here are some affixes which are attached to change the meaning of or create meaning of a word and to create a new word out of it. As we see, miss is an affix and manage is a word, and when we attach this affix with manage, it will be mismanaged. So the words are derived out of placing, out of fixation process. We derive word out of existing words by placing affixes. There are also infixes incorporated inside a word, and this phenomena is common in other language other than English. In English it is rare, as we see here the word absolutely, and we have inserted within this word in middle of this word as goddamn, and this word became abso-goddamn-lutely. And this is for the expression of anger, for the expression of hate, for ridiculing or mocking someone by showing extreme anger. At this time, for this state of mind, people use infixes, and it is common in other culture, as we see Singapore and Singa, and then inserted infixity and Singapore. So we see infix. What is an infix? It is incorporated inside a word to create a new word. Through infixes, new word can also be created. And another word formation process is repurposing. And if we see repurposing, taking a word from one context and applying it to another. In the word crane, meaning lifting machine, and its name is got from the long-necked bird, whose name is also crane. And thus we see computer mouse was named after long-tailed animal.